So you want to know how to build an EMP device, huh? What are you, some kind of criminal? I'll just assume you want to watch me destroy my own stuff. Real quick before we get started, don't use this to destroy other people's stuff. It's fucked up. By the way, I'm going to put a timestamp here just for those of you that already know how they work or don't care. Right, so let me whip out the circuit schematics for what I'm about to build. Green screen was a good investment. So the first thing I should mention, the goal here for one of these EMP devices is to produce high-frequency electromagnetic pulses. Also worth mentioning here, for the high-frequency interference waves from one of these EMP devices to actually have an effect on a circuit, the wavelength needs to be comparable to the size of the circuit. Wavelength equals speed of light times frequency, so for example, if we were trying to mess with an iPhone and we tried hitting it with like yard-long radio waves, the waves would appear to be flatter from the circuit's perspective and it would interfere less with the voltage and could be better dealt with. But if we hit the iPhone with higher frequencies, the shorter wavelengths would induce sporadic highs and lows within the hardware's voltage and current, and this would cause anarchy within the system. So for this thing to work, I'm going to need high frequency AC. So for that, I'm going to be using one of these things. It has an inverter and a transformer inside of it. So it'll take my small DC voltage and then turn that into AC, and then step that AC voltage way up with shorter bursts of current, of course. This is not a free energy device. I'm also going to need some high voltage capacitors and some low resistance copper wiring, so the thicker the better. I don't want the impedance of the coil getting in the way of how much current runs through it. So just a quick rundown of how the circuit is going to work. The AC is going to go from the free energy device to, on one end, a capacitor, and on the other end, the coil of wire. Charges are going to build up on the capacitor with a lower impedance in the way because high frequency, and when the current crosses over the spark gap, there's a huge inrush of current over the coil and it lets out a high frequency electromagnetic pulse. Now we're going to transition into the build montage. The build montage. This is the final product. Let me go find my GoPro. Well, that is about it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this one was a lot shorter than my usual videos, but anyway, this video idea was chosen democratically by one of my polls on my channel page, so look out for those in the future. Okay, I gotta go. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.